Oh, I don't know. I might have to make an intro if we were to do this regularly again. Great touch, though. Good job. Appreciate it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of A Popular Review. I am the executive consultant, joined by my normal co-host when it comes to these top fives, and we do these every other full moon. Mike Knox, who likes to call himself now the final boss. Let me ask you a question. Do you think you're part Samoan? You like to names?
Well, see, my thing is that if they can never show The Rock being black, then I can show me never being Samoan. So, yeah, the tribal chief here, love is above all. The final boss, Mike Knox. I am the one with 3 X's because I'm here to add some intelligence to every show I'm a part of. But we got a special guest tonight, dear executive consultant.
Yeah, why don't you introduce him?
We have, well, shit, his name's right there. Y'all can see it. Freckle Sensei! What's going on, Freckles?
Thank y'all. Glad
Namaste.
to be here. Arigato. Glad to be here, and I'm just ready to get it in. I'm excited. I've been doing my research. I've been binge watching, so I'm ready.
Right. Well, what are we talking about today here on Top 5 Executive Consultant?
We are talking about the top 5 WrestleManias from the year. I'm sorry, not from the year. See, you got me all frazzled and effed up.
Not my fault. It's on the
I blame you. Top 5 WrestleManias from WrestleMania 30 to last year's WrestleMania 39. Looking forward to talking about this. I'm trying to continue this series next week. Going into WrestleMania 20 to 29, going into 10 to 19, and going into WrestleMania to WrestleMania 9. Looking forward to it. But today, like I said, we're talking about WrestleMania 30 to 39, and we'll hop right into it because if you follow us here at Unpopular Review, we got like 17 shows coming up in the next 2 hours. So let's go ahead and start talking about it. We're going to start off with you, actually, Mr. Mike Knox. I know you want to be last because you're the final boss, but we'll probably wait till the end for that. Let's go ahead and start off with it. You're number 5 in this top 5.
Well, simplest put, number 5, if you know me, I'm going to always say it, wrestling is storyline. So when it comes to top 5s, people want to always automatically go to in-ring matches. And they should be there. That should have some weight to it. But what's the good of having a 5-star match? Oh, I'm sorry. Fuck you, Dave Meltzer. If the story didn't match. But you know what story matched? You know what had everyone abuzz, everyone talking about? It was this match. It was the only man that had enough intertesticular fortitude that they could give enough credit to. The booze wouldn't affect them. And that's Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker, breaking the streak, WrestleMania 30, the greatest logo of WrestleMania history, in my opinion. Number 5, executive consultant. Number 5, Brock Lesnar beats the streak.
I agree.
Well, we haven't got your number 5 yet, but I have to. This is why people don't like doing top 5s with me because I'm about to sit here and let you know. Like I
don't care what you say. It's not your top 5.
I can't base a top 5 on this set because it has 3 X's. It reminds me of my stupid ass name.
That's the logo. That has nothing to do with the match.
You said, but you had to throw it out there.
Of course I threw it out there. Listen, don't get mad at me because you still on them Stevie Wonder glasses now. Come on. No, I can see right through you.
If Stevie Wonder sang the national anthem, which I think that was Ray Charles, and one of these WrestleManias, it wouldn't be my favorite just because he played homage to me. Right?
so I can't have a WrestleMania that has 3 X's in it that represent me and I love it? Come on, man. What are you going? Are you going past the baton to Freckle Sensei?
I'm not going to pass it. He just takes it. I mean, you win net first and he goes second. So go
okay,
ahead.
Well, there it is, Freckle Sensei. What's your number 5, man?
It's funny. My number 5 is the same one.
Get the out of town.
It's literally the same one. When you talking about a storyline, when you talking about like the biggest storyline of WrestleMania, like you come to see like the championship titles and everything. You came to see if whoever breaks Undertaker's streak. The fact that Triple H couldn't do it twice. The fact that HBK couldn't do it twice. The fact that nobody else could do it. And then you get the one person, Brock, to break the streak. Out of all people, like the dude that left WWE, talked trash about WWE while he was in the UFC, just to come back to the WWE, beats the mess out of Randy, beats the mess out of Cena, and break that streak. And the fact that Paul Heyman, every time somebody asks him at like cons and conventions and stuff, he always tries to make it where you don't know if it was unscripted, you don't know if it was a change of see that right there was why it was top 5. That black man became famous because of that.
The DMV Sports Group, my man, holding it down. Executive consultant, number 4, but I mean number 5.
No, it's my number 5. My number 5 is going to be very simple. I'm not going to go with that year because I just think no, it's not happening. But I'm going to go with this one, WrestleMania 31.
Which match?
What does it matter what match? The whole WrestleMania 31.
It says top 5 matches of 30 to 39. Not top manias from 30 to 39. That was not the assignment, sir.
Cause Sting?
So I like you to correct yourself there before
I don't have to correct myself.
Wreck yourself.
I'm trying to figure out how not to correct you because I specifically said the top 5 WrestleManias. Not one time did I say matches. Not one freaking time did I say matches. That says top 5 WrestleMania. Where do you see matches on there?
The assignment that I and my VP of graphics department, media department was told matches. So it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I digress. Still, if that's the case, then WrestleMania 30, number 5. Doesn't matter. I'm that good. I'm that damn good. I'm sorry. So go ahead. I'm sorry. Mama, I'm going to shut up now. Mama say Mama Sama Makusa.
Shout out to Michael Jackson. WrestleMania 31 is my number 5. And that's because the entire event, I think, is one of the most underrated cards. When you look at the card, look at it. You have the triple threat tag team match down there. Very few people can tell you about that. I can remember that. What the hell is this? This ain't even the right one. All right, take that shit down. I don't know what's going on around here. All right, that's not even the right card. I don't know any of those freaking matches. But WrestleMania 31, simply because of the fact that you had the return of The Undertaker after the streak that we just talked about ending. I think Brock versus Roman Reigns had, in my opinion, one of their better matches, which was their first match, and a match that I was not looking forward to going into that WrestleMania. And then Brock put a hurting on that lad. So I thought that was good. The heist of the century you want to talk about, NWO versus Sting. It was a very well-produced WrestleMania. Of course, Ronda Rousey, who is making a lot of headlines today with her just utter disrespect for World Wrestling Entertainment. But her moment that she had with The Rock, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon all done at this WrestleMania. WrestleMania 31 is my number 5. You are muted, sir.
Number 4 for me, because I got hosed, Tommy. I clearly got hosed, but it's okay. I digress. It can all still go together because fuck it, it will. All right, so number 4 for me, all right, WrestleMania 37, night 2, right? Smash them, stack them, pin them, headlined by the Universal Champion Roman Reigns taking on that man that's doing last man standing matches, hitting people in the balls with spike bats, and the other guy who truly is the best wrestler in the world, but he's going to job out to the new best guy in the world, Will Ospreay. But I'm sorry, Daniel Bryan, or I like to call him Daniel Bella. Triple threat match, WrestleMania 37, night 2. Night 2. That's what I always will call him. That's what he's going to be called, Mr. Daniel Bella. Like I said, smash him, stack him, pin him. Should be number 1, but just damn it, the match wasn't all that great. But damn, I love that WrestleMania nonetheless. That's my number 4 executive consultant.
Going down to Freckles Sensei.
That WrestleMania was good. I got for number 4. This is the black in me speaking. Sasha versus Bianca, WrestleMania 37. You had not only just like the match itself was that good, the emotion from the match from the start. Like right before they started going, you could see the tears from both of their eyes of like what's happening. Then on top of that, you got two black wrestling women. So that now you're looking down the line of former black African American women wrestlers that had to keep on ascending the ranks, like your Jacquelines, like even Alicia Foxes. Like you had those people that it was like, wasn't for them, this would never happen. That match was emotional. That match showed that Bianca is who we know she always been, her, the EST. It even showed Sasha, which a lot of people Meltzer was saying that she couldn't put nobody over, that she always cared about herself, that she was just selfish. And it was just a moment of, I'm passing the torch to you. You got the next. And like the match itself, like I said, was amazing. Sasha did her thing. Bianca, like she always did her thing. So yeah, that's my point.
So,
Okay.
no, because I already know that we're blaming each other on the missed assignment here. This is how long it's been since we turned the full moon and had another show, but it's okay. So Chris is doing top 5 manias from 30 to 39, and we're doing top 5 matches from 30 to 39.
You know what? We're still going to make this an entertaining show.
My top 4 WrestleMania in general will be probably WrestleMania 33. It will probably be WrestleMania 33.
Okay. All right, speaking of WrestleMania 33, I always want to preface this by saying that WrestleMania 33 is special to me simply because of the fact that there are a lot of people that I am friends with right now. Whether I work with him here in Unpopular Review, whether I live with him now here in Orlando, or what have you, that tell me, Chris, I was at WrestleMania 33. Really? So was I. I didn't know who the freak you were. I didn't know who the freak you were. How did I know that we will be as close as we are right now? But if you talk about quality, when I look back at WrestleMania 33, the quality of the matches wasn't that good. You had Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton on that thing with
the build-up was great, though. Just the
build-up was great.
payoff.
The execution of the payoff was great. And unfortunately, and I'll say this, and I don't mean to speak ill to dead, I said that about a lot of Bray Wyatt matches. I used to say that before he passed. Like he always had a great build-up to a lot of his feuds, but the ending of all of them sucked. Every last one of them, if you ask me.
Yeah.
That was this included. The match itself between Roman Reigns versus Undertaker was not a good match at all. However, the true, in my opinion,
I disagree with that.
Yeah, I was about to say
I love that match, and I like, because that was the first time to me where they were really truly trying to get Roman over with the fans, and I took notice of little things like how he did the spear to him, where he ran the ropes multiple times to build up speed to then hit Taker with it. That was supposed to have been Taker's last match at that time, and it was like, well, he's already tired. He didn't leave his boots. He just left his hat and coat. It's Undertaker. He can't leave his hat and coat. But I thought that one was a pretty good match, though, executive consultant. So I did.
Okay, and that's fine.
But I'm a Roman mark, so you know what I mean.
I think the match was horrible, but at the same time, the whole end of that scene where the Undertaker retired, it should have been his real retirement. I still look back at his real retirement. It's hard to do it better than it was at that particular 33. Him leaving his hat and coat in the ring, the way he left, the way he descended, it was just a surreal moment. I remember the emotion of the crowd during that whole pay-per-view. The mixed tag match between Miz and Maurice versus John Cena, Nikki Bella, John Cena proposing at the end. AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon having a very good opening match. I just thought the whole Naomi, winning the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship there. I just thought it was just a very, very, and then the icing on the cake. And it's funny because I just talked about Mike talking about the 3X's. It was one of the best stages I've ever seen for a WrestleMania. That long ass ramp. Yeah. And all I remember is John Cena running down.
No, I was going to mention when the Hardy Boys came back, my favorite moment from that pay-per-view, I'm literally in the bathroom.
Hardy Boys coming back.
And the music hits, and literally Wiener just raving. I don't know why them dudes know I didn't pee on them, because it's Florida. One of them had to have on shorts. Maybe he's used to peeing on his leg or something, but I peed on both dudes next to me.
Right now, I'm just watching the movie.
That's not even the worst thing that could happen.
Parasite. And there's a prominent scene where this dude is trying to piss on. Anyway, but the thing is, I remember that too because I was shocked because I was one of those people, just like I did with CM Punk back in Chicago and went to Survivor Series. I was like, Hardy Boys ain't coming. Why y'all keep talking about the Hardy Boys? And to credit to them, they really sold it like they were the ones that announced it.
Yeah, they did.
And
I ain't gonna front.
It was just a very good moment. So I have to say my number 4 is WrestleMania 33. We come back. Let's talk about 3 and 2, okay? But we are coming back after this brief commercial. Stay with us. You're watching Unpopular Review.
Previously on the Mike Knox Show.
Fans, back to your Monday, back to the Mike Knox Show, back here on Unpopular Review Wrestling, the show for the intelligent wrestling fans. People, thank you for joining us as you have continued to do week after week, month after month, year after year, because you are an intelligent wrestling fan. And listen, on today's show, people, let's speak intelligently as we do all the time, right, guys? I mean, let's talk the week in wrestling. Let's talk what everybody wants to talk about. Cody bitch slapping The Rock. He bitch slapped The Rock so bad. Now Cody has a t-shirt slapping The Rock. Cody crybabies rejoice all over the world. Your boy is no longer a crybaby baby bitch. Also, this Wednesday, business is about to pick up, especially after my man, friend of the program, Evan Mack's podcast, that to me right now has been the best interview to come out this year. Congrats to my man, Evan Mack, on that. Like, seriously, on landing, she's not Sasha Banks no more, right? Mercedes Moné. Nonsense that they had been talking for a while. And, you know, they him and Cody come in the ring. I mean, Seth and Cody come to the ring. We need Evan as a guest someday. We'll get him on. If the people want it, the people shall get it. How about that?
And I brought him now on the show this past week. So I like that commercial so much. Welcome back, everybody, on Unpopular Review Wrestling. Top 5 manias from 30 to 39. But Mike Knox, just like in school, I guess I didn't pay attention to the memo. I thought it was top 5 matches of 30 to 39. My job would have been made a lot easier just picking the WrestleManias. And actually, it wouldn't have been, because honestly, from 30 to 39, it's not a lot of great WrestleManias. They sure not 5. So I digress. Back to the executive consultant. What's going on, guys?
I'm going to have to disagree with that. I think that the WrestleMania 30s started off weak and ended very, very strong. We'll talk about that. That's a little bit of a spoiler. But let's go ahead and get into it. Let's dive down into it. Number 3, and where I'm actually going through, we're playing tennis right now because I'm hitting the ball right back to Mike Knox. Actually, no, skip you. Screw you. Freckles Sensei, how about we go with you for this round? And you start off with your number 3.
All right. Whew. Okay, number 3.
Hold on, let me interrupt you. Because I'm about to. I ignored it the first time. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Because I saw this.
I put that up there already.
Right, I saw this, but I didn't see this. So
I put it up there for you.
Wow. We just gonna skip. He just wanted to skip.
I thought she completely ignored your boy, and I was about to. You know what? You'll probably like it, but I was probably about to dig in that ass. But I don't have to. All right.
Like a gerbil?
Like a what?
Jerry Pinacoli. Just Google Jerry Pinacoli, Philadelphia newscaster.
When people disrespect the executive consultant, I'm trying to figure out a good punishment. And I think thanks to Vic today, I found out a good punishment. I'm going to sit you down and I'm going to make you watch the movie Parasite without subtitles. That's what I'm going to do. That is a pretty damn good evil thing for me to do. Shout out to Jeff. Anyway, Freckle Sensei, go ahead. Sorry for the interruption. You're number 3, please. That's
disturbing. So yeah, just like how like Mike can adapt, I can adapt too. So I'm gonna just do both. So, because ironically, it's in the same. My number 3, and I know people are gonna be shocked about this. My number 3 is WrestleMania 39.
Why would people be shocked?
Because a lot of people. Because I just remember all I remember was people of course loved the tag team match. People, of course, love the Gunther, Sheamus, Drew, just chop fest of the century, and that's actually my top 3 match. That's my top 3 WrestleMania match. But I can't admit that like the other cards. Just looking at it, some of the other matches on the card was like, yeah, the Miz and Snoop Dogg segment was okay. Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio, I didn't really care for.
Oh, I loved it. It was damn near. It was damn near made the list for me. To be honest with you, it damn near made the list.
Like I didn't care. Like I liked it, but I just was like,
I thought it was pretty good. I think it's a damn shame that right now it looks like Dom might not have a WrestleMania match, but
Listen, Dom nor the Street Profits right now going to have a WrestleMania match.
No, I think the Street Profits will
They better win Friday.
Yeah, I was about to say, the Street Profits going to
They better. I don't know. Triple H booking lately. Listen, we talking about Triple H ain't been booking black wrestlers all that good. I'm just saying.
Not even just the black wrestlers thing, even though I agree with you, but I also if you look at that match right now, they have 3 baby faces tag teams in there. I'm not sure they're going to add a 4th for the 5th. And have all.
Well, I mean, but the thing is with them teaming up with Bobby, they kind of can low key still be like a tweener in a sense. So,
but I think that last spot's going to be held for the Dudley Boys in Philadelphia. So that's why
I feel like we're forgetting a team, so that's a possibility. I really do.
Well, no, you have that went in last week. The Bruiserweight, whatever.
They didn't go in. They didn't go in.
They didn't.
No, they didn't go in.
Okay.
So SmackDown, they're having a tournament. On Raw, it was a sudden death. SmackDown,
okay.
A tournament.
Okay.
So they're actually going to have they're facing somebody. I just don't know what team. I forget what team they're going to face.
Okay. What the hell are you doing? Is that
you know what?
Biofreeze?
I wish. No, you know what? I think they're going to end up facing the LWO.
Oh, well, who? Well, LWO should not make WrestleMania before Bianca Belair or the Street Profits or Bobby Lashley.
Bianca Belair has a WrestleMania match.
Who? With who?
They haven't announced it yet, and I keep talking because everybody's in up for. It's going to be Bianca Belair, Naomi, and one Jade Cargill versus Dakota Kai and the Kabuki Warriors.
Instead of a tag team title match. Okay, that might be kind of boring. Okay, what's your number? Is my turn?
Yes, you're number 3, sir.
Okay, all right. Number 3 for me because I didn't read the memo. Kofi Kingston beating Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania 35. I remember everybody complaining about how cold it was, and I'm afraid we're going into that WrestleMania again now, 5 years later in Philadelphia. Thanks to Chalkline for the great winter coats that I'm going to actually need. My kids might freeze their asses off because I live in Florida where we don't get 30 degrees at night. Okay? So it happened down here.
Yesterday, and it was cold.
Right. It was cold as hell. But number 3 for me, and reason why it didn't make number 1 for me, although the moment was number 1 for me, was the match was okay. It was a pretty good match. But again, I'm talking, to me, hashtag wrestling is storyline. And I thought the emotions of this match, I thought him winning this match was just phenomenal. I thought Daniel Bryan being what Daniel Bryan always is, he makes anybody looks good. You can talk about AJ Styles, you can talk about Randy Orton, them all you want. You can talk about the late great Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle and those guys. But to me, when you start talking top 15, top 20, not just in the ring wrestlers, but over wrestlers in the WWE, Daniel Bryan in the Yes Movement is always going to be there, no matter what you want to think about Daniel Bella. But Kofi Kingston winning his title, outside of my children seeing me shed a tear when Dusty Rhodes passed away as being my first ever guy I fell in love with, I remember this moment, this going in, and how it made black people feel, because as we said, I'm not sure we were backstage or on air, I can't remember at this time, about the Rock thing. We know Rock is black. Rock will tell you, his dad's Rocky Johnson. He is a black man in America. The WWE never portrays him since the Nation of Domination days of being a black wrestler, nor that he even caters to that anymore of being a black wrestler. So this was just a hell of a moment, a great time, and hey, I shed tears. Go back, watch it on my YouTube channel. I did. I have no shame in my game. 3 X's because I was hardcore enough to shed tears for a real wrestling moment. It was real to me, damn it, and especially on this night. Executive consultant, you're number 3.
I'm gonna make fun of one Mike Knox because that's what we do, and give my credit for my number 3 to one WrestleMania. Just get that comment off of the screen. Like, nobody asked for her opinion. WrestleMania 30.
Look at that. Look at this. Put it back.
No, I'm actually finding a new one.
I bet he did that shit quick. He didn't have
I'm going to find a new one because you know what? You can blame Charmaine just for that. I was going to give you some credit, but nope. I'm going to be a petty ass.
You going to blame Charmaine? I mean, I did win Best Show.
But did you win Best Host?
I should have. It was a fixed fight.
Okay. That's always the dumbass excuse. That's always the excuse.
But we're going to find out next year when the people get the pick.
WrestleMania 30 this year. WrestleMania 30 is my number 3. I think it was a... Let me tell you the main reason why it will always be number 3 to me. There's three.
Punk ass.
There's 3 reasons why WrestleMania 30 will always be number 1 of the best to me. One, the opening segment of WrestleMania 30 with Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, and The Rock.
Who? Oh.
Right. I'm about to
Stone Cold Steve Austin,
Uh-huh.
Hulk Hogan,
Who?
and The Rock.
HH?
Three of the most popular wrestlers of all time. No matter how much you may hate on Hulk Hogan, he is.
I do hate.
And that's fine. I respect and I understand. But you cannot take away from the fact that he is the immortal one. And that was just a great segment. Undertaker's streak ending, and I've never heard since or before at a collective crowd in a stadium go silent.
You can hear a pin drop, as they say.
Yeah.
And I was hosting a party at the time, WrestleMania party, and it was the same way at my party. We were all joking and laughing because you know when you're having a party, a WrestleMania party, perfect, that you don't really watch and listen to every single thing that's going on during that actual show.
Mm-hmm.
When the Undertaker lost, everything stopped.
Yeah.
That is something that has never happened. I always make fun of Vince McMahon because he always had this phrase before he set up a match. This one time was never happened before, never will happen again, and then the match happened 3 weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that I've never seen happen before, where the collective crowd went silent. WrestleMania 30. Daniel Bryan's yes movement being in full-fledged at its peak when he won the Miracle on Bourbon Street. Because as many fans went silent during that Undertaker moment, was as many fans chanting yes during Daniel Bryan's victory.
Mm-hmm.
Always will be memorable for me. WrestleMania 30, my number 3. Freckle Sensei, your number 2, sir.
All right. My number 2. It's tough. All right. So
Are you playing cards?
number 2, I would say number 2 match will be Kofi versus Bryan.
Okay.
It's definitely Kofi versus Bryan. Just like everything that Mike said, like as a black man, even the fact that we got to see Shad and MVP cry during that moment, just the build up was like it was subliminal for rest in peace Shad, but the build up for it was kind of like it symbolizes a struggle of a black man. Like you had to fight twice as hard, and he literally was fighting twice as hard. It was like every time he was trying to get his match, he had to go through something. Then you had that gauntlet tag team match where the Usos literally was like, nah, we ain't gonna fight y'all. We forfeit. Then you get the match, and the match is going good, and you almost felt like he was going to lose for a moment. Like you really almost like, oh shit, this dude really might lose. What's going on? And then when it finally happened, you just saw the joy. You saw, you know what I'm saying? You saw Big E and Xavier Woods crying, revealing the title. His kids coming, like not just like the match itself, but the whole sentimental of the match just definitely made it my top 2. The only reason it's not my top 1 is because the quality of the match. Mm-hmm. I couldn't put it as number 1.
Quality match was pretty good. It was actually Daniel Bryan's favorite match. He goes on record saying that whole WrestleMania was the longest ever WrestleMania, I might add, followed closely by WrestleMania 33. But the longest ever WrestleMania was 35. And I mean, here's a fun fact. I actually can't stand that WrestleMania. I really can't. It's like number 8 to me because I think that was one of the worst years in wrestling history for WWE. Really do. Go ahead, Mike.
That was a
My number 2.
But SmackDown going into that WrestleMania was great.
My number 2
fantastic.
Will be also back to night 1.
Oh.
And I fought with this one because we were at WrestleMania. Help me out. You know, I don't know. I'm not good with my number 38. And I personally think that Charlotte Flair is the greatest women's wrestler of all time. Charlotte Flair and my girl
Ronda Rousey, I thought, stole the show on a very underwhelming, appreciated rather, that is, match from the fans. It was one of the first women matches I've seen that just really went, as they say, not a shoot fest, but like a hard shooting match. And these girls last year, Charlotte Flair, the Eradicator herself, winning her women's title at night one of WrestleMania, which a lot of people, including Charlotte's father, thought it should have main evented night one. I kind of really think it should have, but I also understand professional wrestling. I understand where the storyline was for Sammy and Kofi. I mean, Sammy and KO. That's why I wore my KO shirt today. And the Usos, right? Even when I always make fun of that fan who was really dipped out in Bloodline gear that lost his shit when Sami Zayn and them won. Still don't understand why he lost his shit when they won, but I get it because I was somebody who was at WrestleMania who cheered Undertaker, Triple H, so I get it. But this match was just completely amazing. I actually thought, if you go back, I'm watching this match. Remember, I'm in the hospital at that time. Remember, executive consultant having my surgeries. And this was probably my favorite WrestleMania match of the entire weekend. These girls really did do a phenomenal job. I absolutely loved it. My number 2, Rhea Ripley, and Charlotte, the greatest women's wrestler of all time, Flair.
Can we just highlight this particular comment, right? Yes, thank you. Let's just take a moment.
They're used to it. They're used to it. Hey, Cat. I inbox you too, Cat.
Damn, he slept on, no, I ain't gonna hold on. He slept on a brutal match. That match was disturbing.
All right. Now that I can hear you.
Act like you've been there before, okay? Act like you've been there before.
30. I'm over here, right?
I know.
I'm over here. I'm sorry. I was looking in the chat because Dice decided to put up a new graphic. And I just thought it was funny. But he deleted it immediately. Now, he deleted it, so you're not going to see it.
What? That sucker?
Here's another important WrestleMania to me that holds special to me, right? Growing up, for the longest time, as a young lad, as Bad Guy Jack would say, I never thought I would get to go to a WrestleMania, and it was always my dream to go to a WrestleMania. I got blessed to go to WrestleMania 27 in my first time, and I know a lot of people are not a fan of WrestleMania, but I still enjoyed it because it was my first time, and it was a dream come true to me. Fast forward, I went to 28, and then I went to 33, and then I went to 37. I was blessed to go to after a pandemic, and then I went to this one with the person that's right next to me, and we were able to get on the ramp for WrestleMania, and I'm talking about WrestleMania 38 in Dallas, Texas, and that stupid home of the Cowboys, AT&T Stadium. And
how did I walk around? all weekend? How did I make us come into the city? Wearing our Eagles gear. How did I to the Cowboys? I'm sorry.
I hate the Cowboys, so.
That was a fantastic. I'm not, and Mike will tell you because we talk about it all the time, we're not fans of the 2-night format of WrestleMania. Not at all.
Hated it.
However, there are certain things about it that I will say that I like. One, that we don't have to do what they were talking about with how that long-ass WrestleMania, 35 and 33. Personally, I don't mind it too much because I feel like I get my money's worth, and that's good, right, if they give me a long night. But for you to give me 2 very entertaining nights, Stone Cold Steve Austin on the first night, the second night, Roman Reigns winning the undisputed WWE World Championship. I'm going to be appreciative, and I'm going to like it. And it was just a phenomenal. There's nothing. There's watching WrestleMania on TV, and then there's experiencing it in person. Production-wise, on TV or in person, there is nothing like it. From them playing with a DJ at the beginning, all this different types of music, it is just a phenomenal atmosphere, and 38 captured it very, very well. I missed 39. We're going to 40 this year, but I missed 39. But 38 was just a fantastic time. Was it my favorite WrestleMania to attend to? No. I remember Mike Knox could not stop talking about it for a whole freaking month after, but it was such a great time. 28 was my favorite one to attend to, but 38 is really up there. And shout out to 37 because 37 is very underrated. And I want to give a shout out to Freckle Sensei because that Bianca versus Sasha is always going to hold a special place in my heart because of everything of that night, what they represented from as a African American and as a person who's an Earthling on this planet because that pandemic time was very scary.
Oh man.
Living through
we live in Florida.
Right. living through the Performance Center when there was nobody there, living through the Performance Center when they used to have the NXT wrestlers there, and living through the Thunderdome era, just the fact that they finally were able to have fans there. And then you gave us the first African-American main event. Yes. Not just the first African-American main event, it's the first African-American women main event. And it was just a historical moment, and I loved every moment. I don't think it will ever be topped for me. But that's my 38. We're going to take a last commercial break. When we come back, let's talk about number ones and possibly any honorable mentions we might have for the matches side because we got it all screwed up. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with us. You're watching Unpopular Review.
The only reason LWO is around is because of Eddie Guerrero. You know what I mean? So Rey Mysterio is the connection to that. The rest of those guys, they're pretty much
only
just
to get. This is only to get Santos over. Right, this was he's
the LWO. No,
yeah, he's been
LWO is not about getting Santos over.
LWO, you got to go back to the.
You're not Latino, boss. Tú no hablas español, mi hermano. Tú no sabes lo que es eso.
Go back to
you don't know about that, boss. You don't know about that.
Go back to the very
You know what
beginning.
LWO is about?
Listen, Vic. I don't have to know about. I don't have to know about anything Latino.
LWO is about selling shirts, man. Selling shirts is all about that.
Because if you know anything about Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio, it's always been there. But as far as AJ goes, he is a two-time WWE champion. He's a one-time Intercontinental champion, three-time United States champion, one-time Raw Tag Team champion, and he's the 32nd Triple Crown champion and the 15th Grand Slam champion, and a one-time Slammy Award winner with the Boneyard match with The Undertaker being match of the year.
That was amazing.
That best cinematic match. No EST.
Wait, is she pregnant?
Bianca?
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
you're feeling salty. Girl, You don't remember when that girl did
Good job, Dice.
You know, I never saw that commercial before that. And Mr. Kervin, I think some post day 17. This is WrestleMania's 30 to 39. Right? We already did the top 5 WrestleManias before, and it's almost time to do another one because it's been almost 5 years since we did it. So next year we'll probably do it again. In the meantime, let me sit here. That's the first time I saw that commercial. Right. And Dice, let me tell you, anytime you talk about, Vic is one of the only people that think Damian Priest is your next world champion.
Yeah. No. All the Spanish people in our group thinks that, because so does Steve. Steve been saying a lot. He gonna cash in.
I feel like this might happen. Like if it was me, I would have him cash in, but like have it where Truth actually took the actual contract inside of the briefcase, and so like he comes out like that Raw after and will be like, no, like I just wanted to see it. I don't really see Damian Priest right now holding that title at the moment.
They're trying. I will say this past Raw was the first time I saw him walk into the backstage area and got a reaction.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I got a text that says you did say matches, but okay.
I never said matches. Somebody show me proof. I never said matches.
Well, here's why I think it's weird, because it was like my idea in the first place. You kind of took it and then.
No, it was my idea, and I can prove it because I was talking around about it before. That's why you think I was so adamant about the graphic part. Nah,
because we talk about bringing top 5s back. I said we got about 40 of them we can do. I said I was throwing around the idea of type 5 matches. At that time, you said, well, I was thinking about doing I said overall, and you said no, just from the 30 to 39. So technically, we both might be right there. But you got any honorable mentions there, Freckle Sensei? Did it make your list?
Matches, Triple H versus Batista 35. That was just. It was just mostly like one.
What the hell?
So
the Latinas.
Whoa!
I'm not talking about the Latinas. I'm talking about Triple H versus Batista 35. The man tripped going into the ring.
Oh,
I should have told you already what kind of match we were on. Like,
look, I was like,
you're letting your fandom show, bro. You're letting your fandom show.
Look, I ain't gonna lie. The match itself was it was just like a lot that was going on. It was just a whole lot. I was like, oh my god, this is kind of.
Give me what I want.
Give it to me. Listen, I love that Batista.
That Raw where they were celebrating. They was here in Atlanta and they were celebrating Ric Flair and everything, I was literally there. And
if he wants to win, he needs to cash in on mid-card title. Oh no, because Gunther. He ain't beating Gunther either.
Oh yeah.
Ain't nobody.
Well, Gunther's losing. Gunther's losing at Mania too.
We have 35. My other honorable mention is Edge versus Randy, 36.
All right.
The everywhere match.
Yeah.
I love that match. We talked about that before when we did top 5 matches of Manias, and that was what was it booked? What was that title again? That one called? It was like the greatest match of all time. We're talking about that
It
one.
wasn't WrestleMania. That was Backlash.
That was Backlash. But the one before that, at WrestleMania, that was the pandemic WrestleMania, right? They had a match.
Right. And they were all over the place.
I really do think they got it on in that match. Pause. My honorable mentions.
The greatest WrestleMania match of all time was actually very, very good as well.
Oh, I love that
It was
match.
also very produced.
Honorable mentions. I remember watching this match, and I remember people crying and bitching and moaning and complaining because they do online. If this is in my studio, I would play my Triple H skit for you because I'm going to complain online. This cinematic match and how the psychological of this match of Bray Wyatt beating all the different personas of Jonathan Horatio Rodriguez, Tom Brady, Cena was just phenomenal to me. Also, honorable mentions. You did mention Seth Rollins cashing in the Money in the Bank match during the Lesnar Brock Reigns match. Pinning was just amazing to me. Like how he came out there, the end of it, Roman's look on his face, like get the out of here, was amazing. And also honorable mention for me. How can I not go without it? The Yes Movement. It finally happened at the greatest WrestleMania stage of all time, WrestleMania 30. Daniel Bella Bryant defeating Randy Orton, Bautista to become your World Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. This match was just everything because that move. I'm sorry, I say it all the time. You know this as a consultant. You don't have to like Daniel Bryant.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to acknowledge HH, but we cannot forget his stamp on this sport. And I'm not saying Daniel Bryan is there with HH and that stamp, but Daniel Bryan had a significant impact to this day where something he created. Well, let's be real. You were there, God said as a consultant, right? At WrestleMania 28, the fans just took a hold of, right, and made it to where every sporting arena does it. And when you look at a soccer arena doing this, they still AEW fans hate WWE, but they be in the arena still doing yes chants because
they want him to do it.
They want him to do it because it's the most. He's just so number. Those are my honorable mentions. You got any executive consultant?
Well, I didn't do the matches thing, so unfortunately I can't do it. Hey, you know what? If we had time, if your boy wasn't so busy, I would love to actually do a matches one because there's so many great WrestleMania matches from every single decade. And you mentioned a good portion of them, and I'm going to talk about a couple of them when I do my number one. But let's go back over to you. You know what, Freckle Sensei? Let's go stay over with you. You're number one, sir.
Number one. So I'm gonna do a double. So number one for match.
Do your double.
Number one for match is the tag team ladder match. That tag team ladder match with 33. Not only because the match itself was just that good, but then you threw the surprise in with what? Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy? Like what? Like that?
What match?
The tag team ladder match.
That's your number one?
Yeah, that's my number one.
Yeah, I would kind of have to go say you are not a nugget on that one because that's number one. But hey, it's his list.
Look,
it's his list.
Now, I will say, in the words of Stephen A. Smith, the list is fluid. The list is fluid.
You tell me you haven't had the pleasure of meeting one Big Daddy Cool yet, but he has this phrase when he disagrees with somebody. It's called name me your top five. Okay, name me your top 5 spots that happened in that match.
Top 5 spots, I would say Jeff like basically damn near killed himself.
Doing the swan
The delete moment when Matt started being in the middle ring going like this.
Mm-hmm.
I will also say another big moment that I did like from it. Was actually Enzo. Was actually Enzo because one, I was impressed by Enzo. I always personally hated him, but
great guy.
Personal wise, I just never cared about never cared about like the ego thing and all that type of stuff. But I mean, I did respect him, and that match alone had me respect him a little bit more. Hell no. That's
So let me break it down. All right, because it's your list and you're number one, and I'm not going to ask you to change that. That's your number
Right.
one. But I just want to give you from a different perspective that perhaps the moment that match represents from when the Hardys return kind of makes you put on a higher regard than it actually deserved, because the match itself was not all of that.
I can see that.
Okay, but yeah, carry on. It's your.
I can see that, but I do somewhat agree with that because without the Hardys in that match, it definitely would not be in my top 5. But just them, the surprise factor and everything, it was just really good. I struggled because I was like, ooh, how I'm gonna rank this, because I was thinking doing Brock versus Taker as my number 1, just because of the shock value.
Once again, moment.
Yeah, just because of the moment.
So I mean, that doesn't take away from the match. The moment is the match.
And
you come for the moment. You go home because the moment.
That was pretty good too.
No, not necessarily.
The match itself was pretty good. Now, when I talk about just WrestleMania in general, I'm going with 30. WrestleMania 30 is my number 1. Because like you said, we had The Rock and Stone Cold. The Rock and Stone Cold together drinking beer.
I swore there was 3 people in there.
Set it off. I don't even know who the third person was. But
Look at my studio. I got all the pictures in my studio. I got all kind of blank pictures of them and everything, including Booker Sugar. Look at that. Zach Consultant, what's your number 1?
What's your number 1?
I'm the final boss. You said at the beginning of the show I can go last.
I did, but not in this. No, number 1.
Yeah, no, number 1.
I'm weak.
Mike, what's your number 1?
You make me weak. Look at what? Are you punking me?
No,
I'm sorry. Like you're like, Mike, what is it? Like you need to go.
Yeah,
right
because
now.
you're number 1. I mean, you're number 1.
Well, my number 1 should have been. I don't understand why y'all had 2 and 3. Okay, it's clearly okay because the assignment that I came up with was top 5 matches. Is Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair on every single level of where you need to respect. As dumb as this is, CEO.
I like the chat. We can't get the ball.
CEO. We can do this for 5 minutes because that's what she does.
And that's how long she does that shit, for about 10 minutes. Okay, but what got Bianca there, we talk about passing the torch moments. And at this time, you didn't even think this was a passing the torch moment. But as I was putting this list together, this essentially was, as you said earlier, Freckles Sensei, there was that thing of Sasha doesn't put nobody over kind of going around, which I thought was still dumb because Sasha lost plenty of fucking matches.
Sasha lost 6 WrestleMania matches.
Yeah, like so when that narrative was going around, that's why I say hashtag wrestling fans, please tune in on Monday nights at 6 p.m. The show for the intelligent wrestling fan. We can help broaden your horizon and the wrestling and knowledge of professional wrestling. But this match, this moment, this magic moment with these black girl magic was just phenomenal. And the reason why Kofi's 3 here and they're 1, it's 2 black women, not 2 black men, 2 black women. And the match was fucking fire. Okay, the match beyond, she carried that chick up the stairs. Okay, like you talk about asking me for my 5 moments. She carried her up the stairs.
When she gorilla pressed her from the apron, I'm sorry, not the apron, the ramp. Up the stairs into the ring was an incredible moment. Mike, thank you so much for pointing that out.
Just over and over the hair thing, which I'm like, every time somebody peels Bianca Belair, you go, get off her hair, it's just black girl's hair like that. What was a black girl to touch her hair like that? And you know what I'm saying? And she's whipping her with it. It's like Bianca Belair is everything she is that we deemed her to be. Executive consulting, because a lot of times these shows with the mic knocks about myself, but you and I both was there. We kind of came up together. She is, and no disrespect to her, but fans say this, she is the female John Cena, and that is the biggest form of flattery that you can give someone, because Jonathan Horatio Rodriguez, Tom Brady, Cena is one of the biggest, most popular, beloved wrestlers of all time. And Bianca is slowly getting there, and I cannot wait. Number 1 for me, Sasha and Bianca, just heads and shoulders. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Take out race. Is this better than Rhea versus Flair?
If I take out race, was it better? To be fair and honest, I would have to go watch them back to back. Because I truly do love Rhea and Charlotte, but I also have a bias there
right? And I want people to know when I say that Charlotte Flair is the greatest woman wrestler of all time, y'all never hear me say she's my favorite female wrestler of all time. There's a difference. I think what she has, if you look at what LeBron said about his son, let the boy just play college ball. And we all should know this from every second and third generation superstar, there's so much pressure if they had a famous daddy.
I answer this question.
She's lived completely up to it. What the fuck, Bianca, what did it say?
Says, what the fuck Bianca Belair going to do this year at WrestleMania? I answer this question. Unfortunately, her streak of having fired, because she hasn't had a bad WrestleMania match either yet so far. But unfortunately, her 101 streak is over. It's going to now be a 6-woman tag. And I think as disappointing as it is, because it was supposed to be Bianca and Charlotte. Thank you, Eel Sky. It was supposed to be Bianca and Charlotte. What?
Why would we get this? I'm just kidding. Why would... I know John Cena wants to wrestle. I didn't even answer that question. You stopped yourself from talking.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
All right.
It wasn't you. I'm sorry. But I agree with your great pick on this assignment that we all screwed up. But great pick for your number one. My number one might shock some people, but listen to me when I say why I'm going to pick it. Let's see if I actually downloaded a picture. Nope, that's video. I agree with you. I think that the WrestleMania 30s were not that well, but I said it started off okay. The first part went really bad to the point where I thought WrestleMania was losing some steam as far as quality. Not as big as it was, but quality. But I thought it ended very, very well. WrestleMania 39 is my favorite WrestleMania from the 30s.
It has to be.
Hear me out, because I always had this dispute with the crew here at UPR last year when we picked our best pay-per-view of the year, pay-per-view premium live event. And they said it was either Survivor Series in Chicago, which I was at.
Oh, we're talking about when we did that pay-per-view thing. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Or the Backlash in Puerto Rico, which
you were at.
Right. I was not at 39. I chose to go to Chicago. All right. But if you look at that card,
that card was there.
Hear me out. Every match, for the most part, delivered. Right? He mentions Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, which did a phenomenal job. I saw that match like a couple weeks ago. Phenomenal match. But the main event, which was the argument, right? Which one? Was also a phenomenal match.
Bianca Belair.
No, I'm talking about the Usos versus Sami Zayn.
Oh, yeah. That was a great match.
Fantastic match.
Oh, my God.
An underrated match, which bad guy.
The story was better. The story was better in that match, and that's why I went number. That's why it was the main event.
Bad guy Jack and I talk about this part all the time. The tag team match, which was like the Street Profits versus Braun Strowman, was also a very underrated, fantastic match. Freckle Sensei down there mentioned the Intercontinental Triple Threat match was a fantastic match. Bianca and Asuka did not have a bad match at all. I thought the Brock Lesnar versus Omos match was a good match to start off the show with. Good match to start off the show with.
You know what? I agree, because I had very low expectations with that match. I was like,
everybody did.
Yeah, but it was fine. It went in there. It started off the show. It was quick. Did what it had to do. Got better off the pop. John Cena versus Austin Theory wasn't what it was. The 6-woman tag team match with the.
Hey, that's a great T-shirt came from that match. I got that T-shirt. And let me go back to Dyson's question, Azia's silent question, and being fair. I can't take race out of it, because I think personally that question is an unfair question to ask, because the way my mind, for me, thinking for my personal person, right, my personal person, wrestling is all about the moment in the story. Right? So, because the way that I think, now, even if I go in-ring wrestling match, is why I didn't put Kofi there. That match being what it was the match. That added to the match. That's like saying, if I wasn't at WrestleMania 28, would it still be my favorite WrestleMania of all time? I don't fucking know I was there. So it's my favorite WrestleMania. Because I was there. It was my first WrestleMania. It's impossible for me to remove myself from the equation to answer that question. So that's why I make those two comparisons. I just don't think it's a fair question for my person to answer that, to say, so if you say, is it a better technical match? Then that's a different question. But take out race, was it a better match? I can't take out race. It was a better match because of what the moment was. So,
Roman versus Cody. Dominic versus Ray.
Man.
When you think about these matches, you have to think about it was the stage. We talk about 33. We talk about WrestleMania 30. 39 stage was actually really, really impressive. It made it really feel like it was big time. Seth Rollins and Logan Paul as well, also a very good match. It was just, in my opinion, one of the most perfect WrestleManias I've ever seen. Miz should not be wrestling some matches, but he was a good host, right? Take away that part because I hated every single thing. I hated the Pat McAfee thing. I definitely damn sure hated the Shane McMahon thing, but it was still a good. He was still a good host. Very good. Titus O'Neil on the commentary, it was great. It was just
the police.
It was a very good pay-per-view both nights. I loved every moment of it. And it's, in my opinion, I just think from beginning to end, because I always talk about it and I always reference the Avengers, why I think WrestleMania 39, her entrance was one of the best ones.
Yes.
I always talk about the Avengers movies, and I say Endgame is not as good as Infinity War to me, and my reference point for saying that is Endgame had the greatest hour-and-a-half ending I've ever seen in the movie.
Yeah, but it wasn't a better movie than
From
Infinity War.
beginning to end, or as I always say, from bell to bell, Infinity War captured my attention that Endgame did not. Endgame, I could have fell asleep again. Avengers Infinity War was captured me.
At least that second act.
Right. From beginning to end. WrestleMania 39 captured me from beginning to end, every moment. And that's not something every WrestleMania on this list I can honestly say do. The entrances were fantastic. The moments were fantastic, and the matches were fantastic. WrestleMania 39 is my number one from this. Ladies and gentlemen, next week we're going to do another top 5. It's going to be top 5 WrestleManias from 20 to 29.
Much easier than this one was.
All right, so it's going to be a great time. I will be there. We'll talk about who else is going to be there with me. Hopefully these two guys join me. But thank you so much for watching. I got to do this because Dice made it, so I'm going to use it. We have something for everyone. Mike Knox Show, Mondays at 6 o'clock p.m. Monday Night Raw review immediately after Monday Night Raw with Evil Dose, as well as the Executive Consultant after WrestleMania. NXT review, Bad Guy Jack and the Wrestling Doll. AEW Dynamite review, Vinny LaSpada, Dan the Man. Friday Night SmackDown on Saturdays with Vic, as well as DJ, and AEW Collision. That's on hold right now. That's coming back. With Captain as well as Sheriff and whoever is going to join them. Thank you so much for watching. For Freckle Sensei, for Mike Knox, I am the Executive Consultant. Go ahead and take the care of production, Mike. We'll see you right here next time on Unpopular Review. Good night, everybody.
Fingers.
No matches. No yeet.
No yeet.